Divination Spells. Out of 536 total spells in 5th edition, there are only 36 of them, so it's not hard to figure out why they're often overlooked. But there are some pretty cool spells in there, so let's take a look. Like me? Not you. Aww. Starting off, we have the quintessential reconnaissance spell, Scrying. Simply put, it allows the caster to spy on a creature. And while that doesn't sound like much, it is arguably the most important spell in the game. Think about it. If your goal is to stop a big bad evildoer and save the world, wouldn't it be easier if you knew what they were up to? I think so. The thing is with scrying that people tend to forget certain details about it. Specifically, scrying creates an invisible sensor 10 feet from the creature that you're scrying upon. You can also hear all of that area like you were there. And arguably the most forgotten part of this spell is that it technically lasts 10 minutes. So you could literally have an invisible cameraman in the middle of the big bad evil guy's living room and catch him enjoying his guilty pleasure of binge watching Say Yes to the Dress. And with that knowledge, you could destroy him mentally because, let's be honest, who'd be afraid of someone who cries at someone else's wedding? Honestly though, the information you get with this spell is well worth a 5th level spell slot. Next up, we have an often misused spell called Detect Thoughts. This is a 2nd level spell that allows you to, as you probably could have guessed, read the thoughts of creatures around you. The cool thing is that you can read the surface thoughts of any creature around you requiring no saving throw, which effectively means you can read everyone's minds to your heart's content with no one knowing the wiser. But you could also delve deeper into a creature's thoughts to get more personal information. This part does require a saving throw, but regardless of the outcome, the creature does know that you are reading its thoughts. Because of this, delving deeper into someone's thoughts is much better suited in an interrogation style scenario because you don't have to worry about the person knowing you're trying to do it. Asking guiding questions to a captured enemy can very easily net you the information you likely wouldn't have gotten otherwise. But let's use an example just to exemplify what I'm talking about. You just ate the last donut. That donut was supposed to be for your fiance. Uh-oh, that is a big mistake, but you know what? Don't worry about it. Maybe the dog ate it. Yeah, that's a great lie. So anyways, your fiance notices the missing donut and asks if you ate it. And any individual that does not want to die and also continue that engagement would say, "No, fiance, I did not eat the last donut." But you know you're damn well thinking about that donut when she asks you. It's sugary glaze and chocolate frosted top with sprinkles. Oh, it was so good, amazing. But oh, now you're dead because your girlfriend read your mind, and now you're featured on an episode of Snapped Killer Couples. That's kind of how the spell works. Asking questions to the creature can help guide their thoughts to a topic regardless of whether or not they want to admit it. And if you're reading their mind, you can find out that that son of a bitch ate your donut. Oh yeah, and another thing a lot of people forget is even if you try to hide from your fiance who's trying to kill you after you ate the last donut, Detect Thoughts also detects all creatures in the 30-foot area around you, so good luck hiding. Moving on to the 3rd spell on our list, which is technically a 2-for-1 deal, we have Clairvoyance and Arcane Eye. Wow, a 2-for-1 deal on YouTube? Talk about value! You should probably subscribe so you don't miss any more crazy deals. That's definitely a Billy Mays reference. Yikes. Anyways, Clairvoyance and Arcane Eye both fall into the same espionage wheelhouse, which is kind of what divination magic is good at. Clairvoyance places an immobile, invisible sensor that allows you to hear or see for 10 minutes around that sensor, while Arcane Eye creates an invisible magical eye within 30 feet of you that you can move and see through. Now you might be saying, aren't those just worse versions of scrying? To which I say, well, kind of. But consider this, Clairvoyance and Arcane Eye are both a 3rd and 4th level spell comparatively to Scrying's 5th level spell. Not to mention that neither Clairvoyance or Arcane Eye require a saving throw. As long as a creature has no reason to suspect that an invisible spectator might be in the room with them, there is zero reason or zero possibility that they would become aware of that unless they can possibly see invisibility. Clairvoyance also has the bonus of being see or hear around it, while Arcane Eye can only see but has the freedom to move around. They both also technically have no limit on how far away from that sensor you can be, meaning that you could literally teleport to the other side of the world and still get information from that spot as long as it lasts. While they are fairly more limited than the Scrying spell we mentioned earlier, the lower cost and more flexible usage certainly makes them top picks for divination spells. For the fourth spell on our list, we have another 2-for-1 deal, wow, with Detect Magic and Identify. Detect Magic, surprisingly to no one, detects magic within a range of 30 feet around the caster. Anything magical, whether it be a creature or an object, it's going to be detected. While you don't get much clarifying information, you can tell it's magical, and you can tell the school of magic if it has any. So if you see a rune giving off a strong Abjuration aura, you probably want to run the other direction because that's not going to be a good time for anyone. But that's where Identify comes into play. Identify allows you to touch an object and learn properties about it. Sure, this spell wouldn't help if you came across, say, a glyph of warding, but it sure would be good to know that a magic sword is cursed before attuning to it, wouldn't it? Sure would suck to attune only to find out that a sword wants to end you and all your friends to satiate its hunger. Remember, when in doubt, identify. Don't be a grog. Anyways, there's not much more to say about these two spells other than that they're staples in any D&D game. So make sure someone in your party picks them up as soon as possible. And finally, rounding out our list, we have a mainstay on this channel, the incredibly powerful and arguably broken spell, Guidance. Guidance is effectively a baby bless spell. You can guide a creature, and that creature can add a d4 to one ability check of its choice. This sounds so small, but it is a lot stronger than you might think. Firstly, Guidance is only a cantrip, so you could go around just popping Guidance on literally any roll a creature needs to make just to give them a d4 bonus. Not to mention that it's any ability check, so it can be used on rolls not in social situations, such as survival, perception checks, and more. Now, if you want the soft math on this, and I say soft math because I am not a mathematician and my understanding of percentages is basic at best, this increases your chance of success of any roll up to 20%. This is a huge margin, especially considering this is a cantrip and costs literally nothing just to spam on your party. Wizards of the Coast even changed how this spell works in 1 D&D, which kind of proves that they think it's broken. And let's be honest, if Wizards of the Coast think something is broken with their questionable history, it's probably got a problem or two. So yeah, I know I don't really need to say you should take Guidance, but I mean, if you have the option, it's quite literally one of the best spells in all of 5th edition. But that does it for 5 must-have divination spells in 5th edition. Before we finish, I want to give a huge thank you to our YouTube members and patrons. All these names you see here help support me in creating content that we all get to enjoy, so if you see any of them in the comment section below, be sure to give them a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, you can join as a YouTube member or patron down below. Both members and patrons get access to all of our homebrew items, NPCs, and even special roles in our Discord. And to finish it off, if you have any must-have divination spells that I missed or didn't mention, leave a comment below and let me know. I read every comment, almost always reply, and who knows, I might even feature your comment in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Friday.